Hello, it is Sunday, March 1st, 2020. This is my second video to upload. I was trying to get that out last week. It did not happen. And I have just busy schedule to blame for that. But the video that I have already posted on overcoming narcissistic abuse, relationships with a narcissist. I mentioned that my next video, I thought I was going to do grief, dealing with traumatic grief, trauma, life trauma situations when death happens pretty quickly. A lot of times it leaves a mark on us. A lot of people have a hard time processing the grief and not getting stuck at some point during the grieving process. So that is my next video, and I have actually a grandmother that is not doing so well. She is 94. She just turned 94 in January, a couple weeks ago, and she had another stroke early this morning. So we are praying for her. We do not want her to have to endure anymore. That she is, and at her age at 94. So we have been saying a lot of prayers for her to, when it's her time, we would like for it to, progress peacefully. So if any of you have a loved one that is getting older and their health is declining, you probably know exactly where I'm coming from. And so I've been sending a lot of love and light and energy to my grandmother, she's 94 years old, and she's had a great life. She's had, 5 children, and she's a slew of grandchildren, small slew, as we say in the South here, of great grandchildren. So she's had a great life. But we do not want her to have to endure any more strokes and the debilitation that happens to our bodies when we get up into our 90s. But it is out of our control, as they say. And so I was going to do this video anyway, and then this happened, and I was like, this is a sign. I'm supposed to do this video on dealing with grief and, traumatic life instances of sudden deaths. I think are harder to deal with a lot of times than people who are having a long, prolonged illnesses. Obviously, that's hard also on the loved ones, but I think the sudden death, especially if it's a young person, is very hard on those of us that are left behind. So I wanted to make this video and put it out there and let you know that there are some tools. There is a toolkit that I have come up with, not on my own. It was given to me. I spoke in my other video as well, which I probably will in every single video, that everything that I have to offer to people who need assistance has been given to me by my higher power, which is God. A lot of times I'll say God, I'll say the universe, I'll say the divine, which is, for me, is God and the guardian angels. I receive messages periodically from the divine, and the messages are for those of us that are still here. The messages are for those of us that are dealing with grief, a life trauma, a narcissistic relationship that left us flat on our face, a sudden death that come out of the blue when you weren't expecting it, stress and anxiety to the point that it affects your daily life, your daily functions, such as PTSD. Those are the things that I have been guided by my higher power and the collective, to go out and say that there is hope. There is a way to get to the bridge, get across the bridge, come out the other side, and come back into life whole again and a better person, but also not be a bitter person. It's very important that we move through these transitions and don't get stuck anywhere. The what has led me to where I'm at has been a lot of these experiences that has been in and out of my life for a long time, not being able to, grasp it and get to the other side. And then sometimes I felt like I got to the other side, but I was bitter. I didn't realize I was, but I was. And our higher power is sending messages that 2020 is the year for us to heal, to move forward, to go out into the world and be better and not be bitter about it. We need to find what works for us and make ourselves whole again and heal from what is happening. He absolutely does not want us to get stuck in this and carry it with us. As far as death is concerned, that is something that is a part of life that none of us have any control over, who goes or when they go, how they go. But that still, a lot of times, doesn't make it any easier for those of us that are dealing, with the loss of a close friend or family member, and especially when it's a sudden death. So I am here to say that we can get across the bridge if you need my assistance. And I say I have a toolkit. That's actually putting it very mildly. I get messages with each person that is brought into my life that I am able to work with and speak with and spend a little bit of time with to see if I can help them move through these transitions. It's work, but it's absolutely something that you have to do. You have to find what works for you, because we are definitely not supposed to stay in these lower energies of grief, life traumas, sadness, depression, anxiety. We are supposed to be out in the world, kind of as a beacon of light for others who will be experiencing what we may have already went through, what we may have already got to the bridge, found a way to get across it, come out the other side, go through the healing process, and be a better person for it, and not be a negative Nancy about the whole situation. A lot of times that people will be very depressed or angry for a very long time about some of these life traumas, and a lot of times you may not even realize that it's affected you and affected your light that way. The whole thing about creating what I'm creating and just putting it out there, excuse me, is the South. It's March 1st, and pollen and allergies are like really bad right now. That it's only March 1st. I don't know what I'm going to sound like by April 15th. But anyway, that's just living in the South. And but the whole process is about connecting with our light again. As children, a lot of times we have our light. As we grow up, we go through these life traumas. Not everybody's able to shake it off. Not everybody is able to go through the trauma, come across the bridge, go out the other side, and say, okay, well, that happened, and I'm glad it's over with. Not everybody's able to do that, especially if you're an empath like myself. If you are not sure what that means, there's a wealth of videos out there on YouTube. You can look it up and see if that resonates with you. I wish I had known a long time ago what the word empath meant, and because it definitely opens your eyes to the way that you process life and things that happen in life, if you're an empath versus a person that's not an empath. Those of us that are empaths, we feel things different. We process things differently. We look at life differently. We're kind of the cup is half full versus half empty. We're more so that, but it's a lot more to that. That's kind of just skimming the surface of what an empath is. There's just, but I'm not going to do a video on empath because there's a ton of them out there on YouTube. EMPATH. Look it up if you feel like that you need to see if in the term empath would encompass you. It's very important that you find that out if you are one and what it means. It will help you as you go through life, knowing if you are an empath. You will definitely help you. And I'm all about helping. This is what this is all about. This is about how I had to go through and try on 100 different things and find out what works for me. Some of it worked a little bit, and then I tried something else, and that worked a little bit. I never was able to get to the 100% until a couple of years ago, and that is what my toolkit is. My toolkit is offering myself to anyone that may need a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance with some kind of life trauma that they are going through or just went through, and they've been working on themselves, but they're kind of stuck. But they're in, that's where I would love to come in and see if I could help you. My main thing is I'm just doing this because I was told to do this by my higher power. It's kind of like they said, you needed answers. We gave you answers. We showed you things. We sent you messages. We are constantly sending you messages. And it is your duty to go out there and offer yourself and get these messages to others that may need to hear this. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. If you feel like your higher power has told you and guided you to do something, then you do it, and you kind of figure it out as you go along. Should I just be on YouTube? Is that all I should do? Should I do something else? I don't know. My higher power is going to tell me when, what, and how to do it. So all of that, the media thing is not really my cup of tea. I prefer meeting people, and that's how the people that I've helped so far, they were they came into my life, I believe, for a reason. They said later on it was definitely for a reason. So, but I'm limiting myself by, just meeting people here where I live in the area, So that is another reason that, I have to do these videos. I have to put it out there. I have to say, if you need me, let me know. My email is, I believe, in the About section. My email is Lisa, Lisa 7160 @att.net. Shoot me an email if you need me, and if you want to see about pricing. Tell me what you're going through, what you just went through, or what you're stuck in currently, and I will definitely tell you if this is something that I feel like I can guide you through, help you get along one step at a time, get to the other side of that bridge and keep going. It's all about us getting out there and healing ourselves, and we got to keep going. 2020 it's been made abundantly clear to me in many messages that I've received, that we can't stay stuck in this. We are not supposed to stay stuck in this. We're not supposed to carry this with us for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We need to heal from it. We need to help others through it, and that's all I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. I have I started writing it a long time ago and wasn't sure, but I went ahead and did it because I was guided to. I have a book that I wrote and put it out on Amazon a couple of months ago. It's a quick read, but they're all true stories about people who've come into my life and different scenarios that they were going through. I did change the names to protect their anonymity, but all 4 stories are of different people. Only the names have been changed. Everything in it is true, is absolutely true. So if you want to check that out, absolutely welcome. And this is, I think I can get it on the screen. I think that is showing up, maybe? I think it's upside down, maybe. But that is my book. That's on Amazon. I think you can hopefully pick it up and from the video here. But the only other thing I wanted to reach out to you guys today and say is that there's a couple of messages that I've gotten this week, and I'm not sure who these people are, but it's somebody is out there, and it's resonating with somebody. I saw a female. She has brown hair, long brown hair. She's very young. I would say probably she looks to be between 18 and 20 years old. So I'm not sure if she's high school or if she's like college, starting college, that age group. She was wearing a red sweatshirt, like a red hoodie, long dark hair, a little bit curly, and she is in a relationship that she should not be in. I think she is at the point now where she's realizing that this relationship with this person is not what she thought it was in the beginning. I think he kind of came in and he kind of knocked her off her feet, swept her off her feet. And she is struggling now with some of these outbursts from him. The energy that I get is that, it's a traditional young female dating a young male, probably about her same age. The relationship is starting to get abusive, and she is struggling to her head versus her heart. Her head is saying, this is not right, I've got to end this. Her heart is saying, but he was, so wonderful in the beginning. Maybe it's this and maybe it's that. So if that resonates with somebody, if that's you or if that's one of your friends or a cousin, encourage her to do what her head is telling her. Our higher power would never want us to stay in an abusive relationship, whether it's mental or physical. And a lot of times the mental abuse starts pretty quickly, and it will escalate into physical abuse. So I feel like that's kind of why I got this message and got these energies. My nose is itching. Allergies, excuse me. It's because I'm a little concerned that the abuse may be starting to get physical, or maybe it already has, and she needs to cut it off. She needs to cut it off and cut it out, because it's not going to get any better, and it's not her place to fix him, whatever is going on with him. I don't know. So if that resonates with somebody, then that's kind of, I think, why we're being told. And why I was being told and shown this is because she needs to end the relationship, and don't do it in private. Don't do it when it's just her and him. It needs to kind of be over the phone, when she's around some loved ones, some friends or family, that whoever is understanding and will have her back. She definitely does not need to end it when it's just her and him, because who knows how his reaction may be. But it definitely needs to end, for her safety. And the other message that I've got, is cheesecake. Somebody loves cheesecake, or maybe it is someone, that has passed on to the other side, and they love cheesecake. That was one of their favorites, desserts maybe. I'm not sure, but I think it feels like it's a person that has passed on to the other side, and cheesecake was one of their favorites, or maybe their favorite dessert, or but it's their way of saying that, that they're still here, but they're just not in physical form anymore. They're still saying they miss, they love cheesecake, and they miss you, and they love you. And that was their way of kind of jogging your memory. So I'm not sure who that resonates for, but it's definitely for somebody. I was kind of urged to get off the couch a couple of nights ago. It was raining. It was cold. It was really rainy. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I was snuggled up with my dog on the couch watching a movie. And I was told to go get a cheesecake. And I did it like a dummy. I went and got a cheesecake. And I was not craving a cheesecake. I mean, I like cheesecake. It's okay. So that message is for somebody. Whoever loved cheesecake that has passed on the other side, they're just telling you, hey, hi, how you doing? I still love cheesecake, and I miss you guys that are still there, and they're on their side, but they're doing awesome. They're fine. They're wonderful. And that's just their little way of saying hello, and they miss you, and they love you. So I'm not sure who that resonates with. Probably somebody that's out there, and hopefully this video will get to them. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing wonderful. And it is March 1st, 2020, and we all have to heal ourselves and find out what works for us the best way, the quickest way, the most painless way that we can get through this. But we've got to get through it, and we've got to heal ourselves and be a source of inspiration and hope for others that will in our life now, and others that will come into our life as we move on through life. And because odds are you will probably encounter somebody down the road that will be going through something that you have already been through, and you can say, wow, I know exactly how you feel, because I've been there before, and this is what I did, and this is how I got through it. And it's our higher power is wanting us to heal so that we can help heal others and not be stuck in these negative energies anymore. We've got to not be stuck in it anymore. We've got to process it and leave it on the other side of that bridge, because we've crossed and we're on this side of the bridge now. So I wanted to show you something really quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up. This is this is one of the first messages I got, and it is a small rocking chair, like a children's rocking chair. Let me show it to you right quick. That is one of the first messages I've got, and I was actually trying to nap one weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday, I don't remember, and I got this message that I was going to receive a gift, a treasure, an antique, a trinket maybe, from someone that had passed on to the other side, and I was receiving it so that they wanted me to know that what I am doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. They wanted me to know that making videos and putting it out there on YouTube is not as scary as it sounds like it is. So, so, and I was like, okay, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that, but because I was not, I was hesitant about putting myself out there in that way. I enjoy meeting people and trying to help them through stuff that I have already dealt with. The whole making videos and putting it on YouTube and trying to figure out, am I supposed to do it on another platform as well? I don't know. It's kind of blown my mind a little bit. But this was one of the first messages that I received, was that I was going to be receiving this. And it was going to be from someone who, it was a treasure, a trinket, an antique from somebody that had already passed on. And it was their way of telling me, you're doing what you're supposed to do. I'm going to give you a gift. It was something that was very special to me. And you're going to receive this gift. And this is why you're getting the gift. And there was no one in my family that had passed away recently. So I was not really sure what to make of that message. And within 2.5 weeks, I received this rocking chair that's a children's rocking chair that belonged to my great grandfather. And I do remember him. I have a few memories of him. He, I knew him a little bit before he passed away. And he is actually the father of the grandmother that I was talking about in the beginning of the video that's in the hospital right now. And her health is declining pretty good. It's declining pretty rapidly. And it is actually her father's rocking chair. And I had no idea I was getting that. My mother just called me out of the blue and said, I've got something for you. I think you will probably want it to put it in your house. And she said, can you come meet me in a few minutes and get it? So I was like, okay. And went and met my mother, who was nearby shopping and had it in the car. And I got it, and she said, she gave me the story. This belonged to your great grandfather. This was his when he was a little boy. It's over 130 years old now. And she said, I wanted you to have it. I wanted you to put it in your house. And this was just 2.5 weeks after I received that message. So if you feel like you need some help and you're comfortable with the spiritual aspect of it, then we probably would make a good match. And I will probably be able to help you move through these life traumas and let you know exactly what I think you probably should do and to make your way through it. So anyway, that's just a little bit about what's going on in my world. And this is my second video. And like I said in my first video, you'll have to excuse the southern drawl. I am in the deep south, born and raised. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope life doesn't have you down on the ground, flat out. But let me know if I can help you. I would love to chat with you. Just shoot me an email. Let me know what you're going through. The email again is lisa7160@att.net. And I check my emails every day, several times a day. So that is the quickest way to get me. And we can talk about what you've got going on and what I would probably be able to offer you right off the bat. But I guess for the lack of a better term, it's coaching. You can call it whatever you want to. I just know that God told me to do this. There's some energy work that is very, very similar to Reiki, but it's not full-on Reiki. It's energy work that our higher power wants us to embrace, pull in some energy work, help us get some immediate relief if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're had some disruptions with your appetite because of what you're going through. you're eating too much, or you're eating too little because you don't have an appetite. You've lost too much weight, or you've gained too much weight. You're not sleeping very well. All of these things, the energy work that I can do right off the bat will bring some relief to you. And then the coaching is something that you will work through, depending on where you're at, what you're going through. I can't say it'll be, it's totally up to you. Every situation is different. Every person is different. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got. I'm going to try to make this one not as long as I made the last one. The last one was way too long of a video. But my last video was on surviving narcissistic relationships and healing from narcissistic relationships, and it's a biggie. It's a biggie. Grief is something that's more of a common term. I think more people are realizing, unfortunately, what narcissistic abuse is, and if you've been in a relationship with one, you know how traumatic it is. It's a life trauma, just like losing a loved one is a life trauma. It's something that affects you. You'll never forget it. You usually don't forget those narcissists, just like you don't forget that loved one that's passed away and it's left a wound. You need to heal the wound and see if you can remember the happy times from the loved one that's passed away. So it's very near and dear to my heart. So I think that's why that video went way too long. So anyway, I love you guys. Hang in there. Keep your chin up. And I guess my next video, I'm going to touch on stress, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and for those that are dealing with that, and it's made a mark on their everyday life. That's probably what the next video will be on, as soon as I can get to it and get it posted. So anyway, if you're watching this video, you can say a prayer for my Grammy. I love her, and we absolutely want what's best for her. She's 94 years old, so whatever's in her best interest is what we want. So you guys hang in there. I'm tapped in, I'm tuned in, I'm turned on. I'm here to help however you need me. And feel free to email me, reach out to me. I promise I don't bite. I am kind of sassy sometimes because I'm a Gemini. So, but if you know Geminis, you know that we're very